Hello everyone and welcome back to Kanen Coffee. Here we have this beautiful Rancilio Silvia espresso machine. Now for this machine we have to do a little bit of work and that's why because we have to remove this thing that you see right here. The entire boiler as you see here. Unfortunately the heating element died on this machine and this is the older style of the boilers of the Rancilio Silvia line. They didn't have a removable heating element, and you can notice it because this thing is welded straight into the boiler. So in order for you to replace the heating element, you unfortunately have to replace the boiler itself. Then, thankfully, the new model does not comes like this. It has a removable heating element, so you are able to remove this in the case that you accidentally let the boiler run out dry, or for some reason the heating element dies. You can easily replace it instead of having to replace the entire boiler that we had to do here. So we basically took this machine apart. Let me get a little bit closer. Here you go. There you go. You can see the conditions of the machine. This is the newer heating element that we had to replace in here. Took a little pictures before we actually started doing the repair. This is when we open it out. As you can see, this is the same part that you see right here. It's just this is when it was connected to the machine. There you go, when it was connected to the machine. We just remove all these fittings, all this stuff completely, clean up inside the boiler, make sure everything's nice and clean in there. We remove everything, the pressure starter, thermostat as well. This is when we were connecting the newer boiler. This is the newer boiler, and this is when the boiler is installed already. As you can see, this one has a nice beauty cover on top of the boiler, and that is to keep the heat inside, to not transfer that heat into the electrical components. And we also replace some of those new wires that you see right here. These two new wires are new. We could replace some of the harness of the wires in there, and deep clean everything inside, deep clean the three-way and stuff. So yeah, that's what we did in this beautiful machine. Now this is the conditions of the machine. We also clean a little bit around on the sides as well as the inside of the machine. Remove some of that scale buildup that it was around it, some of that rust of the case as well. We tried to remove as much as we could, but yeah, it looks great. It looks really good. It looks really good. And with the new heating element and the newer style, not the older style, as you can see, you can kind of see in the bottom how the heating element just basically blew up. And yeah, so starting with one shot of espresso, we're gonna test this machine out. Hopefully I pick up the right ground settings of this machine, otherwise I'm gonna see the coffee or coffee very dripping. Had the valve open, apologies for that. There you go. As you can see, it's gonna be barely dripping as I tampered pretty hard on that coffee that I packed in there. I was using a much finer grinder for this machine, so it's definitely gonna be on the long side. So let's do that again and have a nice shot of espresso. I'm gonna stop it right here. We're gonna put a much coarser grind, and I'm not gonna tamper that hard. Okay, we are back, and as you can see, that was our last shot that we tried to do, and it was very slow. We still got a good layer of cream on top of it though, so it was definitely starting, but it was starting a little bit low. So now for this one, I increased the grind size just a tiny little bit, and I did not tamper that hard, so hopefully you can see a nice shot coming out of the glue head. And as you can see, so much better compared to the other one. We have a nice flow coming out through there. As it's building up pressure, we can see that it's starting to develop some cream on top of the espresso shot as well. You can stop it right here. Perfect. And as you can see, that crema is developing at the top of that beautiful shot. Nice and pretty. Not as strong as the other one because this one was a much finer grind. This is a much coarser grind, and it is not tampered that hard. And as you can see, it's a nice layer of crema. It is a good nice layer of crema on top of it. It's a nice espresso shot. You can kind of see that also perfect almost over here. Barely any liquid on top of the portafilter. Nice little puck that you see right there. Portafilter clean, so that means It's a good shot of espresso coming out of this machine. Flow the water shower head, as you can see, it's a nice steady stream. You can see all the multiple streams coming out of the group head. If you see a big spray coming out, that means it's time to back flush, and you definitely need to go in there and clean it. But as you can see, on this one, it's a nice gentle stream coming out of there. Now let's do some steam, and let's wait for the machine to build up pressure inside, as this is a single boiler espresso machine, so it needs to build out that pressure in order to produce steam, as is right now just on coffee mode, so it will not heat up the water to produce steam. So let's wait for the light to turn on. Again, you can kind of see the difference of shots on these two pulls that we did. Uh-oh, messed it up there. You can see that much crema even though I messed it up. You can also see the scale build up as well. The feedings, that heating element that just blew up. Alright, I think that's enough. I know the light is not off, but it should be enough to see some steam coming out of the machine. I want this video to be 10 minutes long, so I'm going to speed up the process. And as you can see, still not 100% ready. So as you can see, some nice steam coming out of the machine now. Excellent pressure. Looking really great. Looking excellent. And there you have it, Rancilio Silvia with a new boiler and heating element heating once again and ready to brew. So thank you so much for preparing Kanen coffee. Please subscribe to our channel for more content this every day. And thanks for watching.